Hey everybody, Alan Waters, Director of Marketing and Communications here at the Chamber. Thank you so much for attending this small business workshop. I do want to point out we've got one more small business workshop happening this month. It is on the 24th and it is on nonprofit fundraising and communication techniques. So if you know anyone that might be interested in that, this is free for our members to attend both in person or online. With that, I'm going to kick it right off. I hand it over to Casey Blouse, our sponsor today with Blouse House Creative.
Hi everybody, as he said, my name is Casey Blouse. I own Blouse House Creative. We do graphic design, paper printing, signage, and promotional items. I'm really excited to hear Sharon talk today. I've heard a little bit about what she has to say when she came to our case group, and it was amazing. So y'all will not be disappointed. What I want to talk to you about for just a few minutes is what I can help you with before, during, and after your networking. So before, I can help with logo and branding. I brought this little sample of something I did for Onward Counseling, made their logo, business cards, website, all of the branding things you would need. The other thing I can help you with during is business cards. So these are a couple of the ones that I just really enjoy doing. And then also name tags, so people know who you are. When you go to a networking, you don't have to, they can tell as soon as they see you. And then afterwards, one of the things I can help you with is thank you cards. This is the one that I send out, and I pull these out so I glue them in. But this is my little thank you card. It has brand colors, that kind of thing. So we can tailor it to your branding. Also, if you want to do follow-up gifts instead of thank you cards, we have simple little things like keychains and things like that, or little bags that you can just put mints in that you can stop by and say, thanks, it was great meeting you, that kind of thing. So there's so much more that I can do. I just want to bring you a couple of samples so you guys can get an idea. But thanks for having me and looking forward to hearing talk.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Casey. Casey did a lot of my stuff when I launched my consulting firm, so I think she's pretty amazing. I want to start this morning with, I want you to take a look at the back wall. The mission of this Chamber of Commerce is to promote a positive environment for the growth and operation of business and the education of our members, right? So if you look at everything they do, and what they're offering, it supports that mission. So today, this workshop supports that mission and every one of you that are here. And those of you out there in Zoom land, okay? I want to ask you first thing, what do you think your biggest challenge is in networking? And when you respond, would you please give us your name, who you work for, and what you do there? Okay, we're going to start with you. You know that, right? Because you looked like you were saying, please start on the other side. Please start on the other side. So if you wouldn't mind, thank you.
My name's Chris. I started a business about a month ago. It's called IT Mushroom. I do says IT, but mainly just helping small businesses out, actually save time. I do automations, really good at making manual processes automatic. And so far, my biggest challenge with networking is getting people to engage. I've met with a lot of people. I've gone door to door. I've used social media, and a lot of what I get is, I don't have time, and it's like, but that's what I'm offering, is giving you time back. I just created huge, massive workflow for myself so that I don't have to create invoices. I don't have to log details, attachments. I complete one form and everything happens on the back end. So that is what I offer, and trying to get people to understand that there's value in saving time has been challenging. So.
Thank you. That is great. Casey and I were just talking about the value of time, and here are the things I love to do. I mean, I could do this, but I don't love to do that. So finding the right people that can do that stuff is great. So thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Beside Chris is
Dakota.
biggest challenge.
Biggest challenge. I'll just give you my biggest challenge. My biggest challenge is probably, as much as I like to talk, is probably just the first interaction with somebody, you know, because you walk into a networking event, and there's a big group of people, and you're just like, oh man, how do I get in? And that's probably my biggest challenge.
Okay, and now tell us who you are, who you're with. What do you do?
So I'm a financial advisor with the same financial strategies here. Me and Anthony Church are the 50-50 in it. And yep, a good old fun financial advisor.
So bottom line is you're gonna save me money, right?
We're growing.
Yeah, grow it. Yeah, I like that. Thank you. I appreciate that. This side Cody is.
I'm Justine. I do bookkeeping and marketing for Shelter Alternatives and Energy Check. And I would agree that the hardest part is just the initial entryway into communication with other people.
Okay, thank you. Megan.
Hello, everybody. Megan Atkinson. My biggest challenge right now is becoming reacquainted with the Montgomery County community. I am the career and technical education administrator for Montgomery County Public Schools as of February this year. So learning the businesses that are here. I was in a role across the river in Pulaski County and worked with Pulaski County businesses. So I'm kind of solving my challenge just by having my bottom in the seat today. So
It's a win, right? I love that. Megan, I'm gonna come back to you in the presentation. And beside Megan,
I'm Chloe. I'm the assistant general manager at the Hampton store. My biggest challenge is the initial, like, breaking the ice. I'm very awkward. I've struggled with getting started talking to people and like finding the flow. Yeah, that's my biggest challenge.
your name was Chloe.
Yes.
And beside Chloe is Tammy. Tammy, you want to tell everybody who you are, what you do, and what's your biggest challenge?
Yeah, I'm Tammy Dickerson. I'm working Herbert Bank. I'm the manager there. I guess with the bank, my biggest challenge is, you know, being able to offer that customer something that the other banks aren't offering. So I want to be able to stand out. So I guess that's my biggest challenge.
Thank you, Tammy. We're going to talk about that. So what I'm doing right now is problem solving. So we're covering everything that you need covered, okay? Beside Tammy?
My name is Ashley Wheeling. I'm with Express Employment Professionals. I'm their outside sales representative. I've been there for about 3 or 4 weeks now. So I'm fairly new, but I've been in sales for a long time. My biggest challenge is probably consistency, especially when it comes to follow-up. I make a lot of connections. That's my job, but having a system to manage the follow-up.
Beautiful. So within that, we're talking about sometimes your time management, right?
Correct.
Right, okay, perfect. Dennis.
Correct.
Dennis,
Yes.
tell us who you are, what you do, and what's your biggest challenge?
Okay, I'm Dennis Amos. I'm the vice president of the engineering group of Perk and Profit in Blacksburg. One of my biggest challenges, kind of echoing what some of the others have already said, but adding on to that is just finding events that really fit with what we do. We have a lot of opportunities to go and do different things and really picking the ones that will maximize the impact that we have in our marketing efforts. So that's one of my biggest challenges.
Thank you, Dennis. And beside Dennis is Mike.
So I'm also with Hurt and Profit. I'm our director of land development. Do like site designing, stormwater plans, all that kind of stuff in my group. And yeah, very similar. It's finding those good opportunities and then also that initial kind of breaking the ice, especially if you walk into a group and you're at a conference and so many people know each other and you're kind of just starting to get into the conference scene and you don't know people. And like they kind of have their groups and their cliques and like trying to infiltrate into a group to be able to really start to interact.
That is tough. And that's a word that I absolutely hate is clique. But I agree with you. There are cliques and there are groups. And if you see like 3 or 4 people talking, you kind of don't want to go over. And I mean, if 2 people are talking, I don't mind interrupting them. But if there's and I think sometimes people travel in packs. We'll talk about that. Dana, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Dana.
I am from the Hampton Inn next door. I'm the director of sales there. I think my biggest struggle would be follow up when there's no response. So I talk to people all day, every day. It's my job. But oftentimes I feel like I'm calling people 2 or 3 times and I'm not getting a response. So then it starts to get like super awkward and I'm like, when do I stop? So I feel like that's the biggest issue I have.
Sure. And we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And I think that there's some things that Casey offers that will help you. I have no idea who you are. I'm so sorry. I didn't meet you when you came in the door, but beside Dana is
Robert. And I'm also a financial advisor. And I would say that I'm with PFS Investments. I would say that everything that everyone is listed.
You get to choose one. What's your biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge I would say is getting people to understand that we are set up different as a financial firm. So we're designed to help everyone. So just having them come as soon as they hear financial advisor, it's a shutdown. Or it needs to be just keep your mind open for one sentence. And it's just breaking through that shutdown.
Why do you think people shut down when they hear financial advisor?
Probably the stipulations through its financial advisor's history and the large minimums, or
Right.
that they think they can't afford it, or they don't have the time, or they're barely getting by as it is.
I've had a guy tell me, hey, I want you to hook me up with people that have $2 million to invest. And I'm thinking,
Me too.
I don't have $2 million. I don't even know people with $2 million. Yeah, so I get that. Thank you for clarifying that as well.
I'm Morgan. I'm with New Heights Consulting. I would say, not to echo everybody else, it would be balancing the time of networking and running the business, because I'm a one person show right now, and looking to expand that. But with the balance of that, like to keep customers and clients coming in, but then to manage the customers that I've already got, balancing those with networking events. Because networking is where you're gonna have to, where I have to find my clients at.
Right. So building that pipeline and keeping the pipeline flowing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And we'll talk about that. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Fallon. I'm the volunteer coordinator at Volunteer Montgomery. And kind of similar to the initial little intro to meeting people, I think my biggest struggle is like, I kind of like cold call people, but in person. Like, I just walk up to people and start talking to them, and I feel like that's not the most natural way to do that, based off of my experiences. So like a more welcoming, natural way to talk to people. That's mine.
I appreciate that. And you, was it Fallon?
Yes.
Beautiful name.
Oh,
thank you, Fallon. And beside Fallon?
Hi, I'm Catherine. I'm the membership coordinator at the University Club of Virginia Tech. And the thing that I find most difficult is just like starting that initial conversation and kind of having it flow naturally and not being super aggressive or like sales pitchy.
Do me one favor, give me your name one more time.
Catherine.
Catherine, got it. I heard University Club and went down that rabbit hole. And I think I'm a relatively normal human being that we latch on to one word, financial planner, pull them down a rabbit hole. So thank you for sharing that again, Catherine. And I just gave you some tips right there about names. So beside Catherine.
I'm Brian Williams, Operations Manager at UN Construction and Cabinetry here in Blacksburg. I would say probably our biggest problem right now would be kind of finding networking environments that we can be most beneficial to those groups of people. I think our niche is more upscale remodeling, so it's harder to sell generally in most networking environments. So finding those kind of niches of people that could benefit the most.
Brilliant. Very good. Thank you. You thought you were going to slide in and get out of this. No way. Go ahead.
I'm Tyler with All American Hauling. I would say the biggest struggle for me is time management between working with current clients and then finding the proper networking events that will be most beneficial to not only myself, but my company.
Absolutely. Got it. Casey.
Mine definitely is engagement on social media.
Okay.
Which I have to actually, get the stuff on social media to get engagement, but the stuff I have put out, it seems like just like either false flatter, you get like a couple likes and you're like, okay, I'm done with this. So.
Thank you, Casey. Ellen, you wanna weigh
I
in
will
here?
absolutely, before I go, I'll say we have one from, the chat on Zoom that said it's intimidating going into an event, as someone that's introverted. Always looking for someone that you already know instead of expanding the network. And I would say that I'm in a similar boat that, while my job is to be an extrovert, when I get to events and especially after I've been networking largely all day, I tend to find the people that I know and am comfortable with and slowly let my battery drain. So finding ways to recharge that battery is probably my biggest challenge. One more from the chat of they're a solopreneur, finds it hard to balance the running of the business, but also finding time to meet people, meet with new people to help build awareness of the business.
Thank you, and thanks for watching the chat for me. Steve, you wanna weigh in?
Sure.
Or you wanna?
Yeah, Steve Buffino, I'm president of the chamber, and I've had to fill Sharon's shoes, who was also the former president of the chamber. So, of course, that's a big obstacle because I've got to fill her shoes. But I'm a recovering introvert, so I at chamber events, you always want to meet people and things like that. So I've got to get out of my shell, and luckily I've been able to do it a little bit and get better. But yeah, so that's the biggest thing. Like that person said, you want to focus in on the people you know, but being in the role that I'm in, you gotta meet them.
I think we can help every single one of you today, but I'm going to ask you right now to focus on that one thing that was important to you. Listen to the rest of it. I'm sure that Alan and Steve will get the slides out to you if that will help you. But the bottom line is focus on that one thing that is important to you. You may find that there's some smaller things that can help you get there. But if you try to do everything in this, you're not going to do it. So find the one thing, okay? Networking is all about making connections. There we go. And I love this quote by this particular author. Connection is the key to happiness. When you're walking in to that big room, you, Alan, and several of the people in here, it can be intimidating. I don't know any of these people. And they're talking to other people. So I'm just going to stand over here at the bar, and that's not always smart, but I'm just going to stand here at the bar and kind of scope the room out. Yeah, you're right. A lot of people will come to the bar, but usually they're on a mission, right? So that may not be the best place to hang. It is about happiness. We want to be liked. We want to get to know people. We want to build our business. That's what brings us joy. Right? Tammy? Yeah? We good? If we can make that connection, then we kind of feel like, oh yeah, I know that person. I'm gonna go talk to her. It is great. It's great. We dress like others. We are looking for ways to connect. The words we use, we choose to use. It's another way to make that connection. So there are other people. If you go to some of the chamber events, we have some wild and crazy members, and they dress flamboyantly because they want to be seen. They want to attract that attention. You have to figure out how to make that connection and what makes you happy. Me, I'm going to blend in. I'm going to blend in. Steve said recovering. I am a borderline introvert, extrovert. I mean, the scoring, it's either 5 on each side or 10 on each side. So I can get people down. About 7 o'clock at night, I'm headed out the door. Peace out, love you people, I'm gone. I'll help you clean up, but I don't want to talk to you, okay? I just want to clean up and go home. And it's not that I don't like people, it's I get peopled out. So networking is absolutely critical to our business. We have to have a pipeline. And for you sole business owners, I've been there. Since I left the chamber, I owned and ran a consulting firm. And I loved it. But I also knew how many clients I could manage. And that's all I would accept. And if people called and said, hey, we need you to do this, I'm flattered that you would call me. I have the max that I can take right now that I can satisfy to the level I've established for me. So I can call you in 2 months when one of my clients is leaving, because there will be a graduation. Or I'm happy to refer you. And there is enough business in this community that you can make those referrals. I love it when we make referrals, because when we're doing that, we're building relationships with other businesses and other leaders in the community. Do I want it all? No, I don't. If I were 30, maybe. No. It's either refer the business, also being specialized in selecting your clients. Because my guess is, if you go after every piece of business, you're going to miss some big deals. So figure out who your customer is. That mission statement, the customers are our members. It's very clear. Do we help non-members? We'll help them understand what we do. And if they join, and I will tell you something about this chamber, during the pandemic, they opened communications to every business in this community. It was not just for our members then, it was for every business. Our job was to make sure every business kept their doors sort of open, within regulations, but to serve those businesses. So this piece, I'm going to ask you, what's the goal of attending networking events? What do you set goals? I just got back from another country. Am I speaking English right now? I am, right? Okay. Do you set goals? You do?
So for me, there are different educational programs within Montgomery County Public Schools that align directly to the businesses within the community. And there should be a flow of information and support going in both directions. So students learning from businesses, giving back to schools, sharing their expertise, sharing their resources, but also businesses benefiting from those programs because their future workforce is sitting in a classroom or in a shop. So my goal in attending every event is to find the businesses that connect with our programs, and spoiler alert, it's every business, and see how I can support businesses and encourage businesses to support our schools.
That's being very intentional about attending that event. My guess is when you walk out the door, you often feel like, hey, I did it. You guys, I love that you're intentional in the search for the right event. Intentional in the search for the right event. My philosophy is you can network standing in line at the bathroom. But for some of you, your work is very unique. So we want to be looking at how do we connect with the right people? Now, right people. That sounds what's the word I'm looking for? Snooty. But right people means by connecting with these guys, whether they use you or not, they may be able to refer someone else to you, right? So getting to know the people at that event is very important. You know, I've already told you, I'm borderline introvert extrovert. I used to love business after hours because it always fell on leadership day, which meant I had peopled all day. And I had peopled with not only the class, but the companies, the organizations that we were working with. And then to go into an event that there would be 100 or 150 people, oh man, what's the goal? What's my intention for that event? My intention is I want to make sure that I'm helping people make connections. And when people would come up and say, hey, I want to meet somebody that might be able to use my services. Okay, I'm going to introduce you to two. So what you do with that is up to you. You're going to follow up. You're going to chat with them. Or you're going to ask about their business. Because part of this whole networking thing is, what are you going to do for the other person? I want you to approach every single event with purpose. Again, what's my goal here? Energy. And if you have to sit in the car for 15 minutes before you get in the door, do it. If you have to listen to rock and roll in the car before you go in, do it. I enjoy music. If I'm driving on 81, I'm going to listen to classical music, not rock and roll. The same is true for your networking events. I want to have lower energy driving on 81 because I have my own philosophy about that highway. But the same goes for my networking. When I go into a building, yeah, I'm listening to, I don't know, Black Sabbath, maybe, in the car before I go in. I need energy going in. And then finally, enthusiasm. I want to be excited about meeting people. And I want to build that energy level up. So what brings you energy? I'm stopping talking now. I'd like to hear some responses. Hit those people up on the chat.
Can do.
What do you do? What elevates your energy level?
People getting excited about their business because I like to hear about it because I get really excited about my business. So I like seeing people's passion. So I get energized by hearing it.
I love it. I love it.
I was gonna say, at times I've even done jumping jacks before making a sales call.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Let's get the blood flowing, right? Whatever it takes that won't get you arrested. These are the important things. It is about energy and what we can bring. Casey, you touched on something really important. I used to ask, and I'll tell you that later, but I used to ask, hey, why did you choose that field of consulting? You want to hear passion. Holy cow. People start talking about their business and you get to know them. And you get to know why they're doing what they're doing. I'm gonna say people happen to enjoy this. I get to drive a big pool truck every single day, right? Yeah. Why are you doing what you do? And get that story short, sweet, get it to them. And then if they say, hey, tell me more. My favorite words as a consultant, tell me more about that. Holy cow, they will tell you so much. Now, as you're listening, you're beginning to frame for the end because you're listening, not talking. You're listening and thinking, hey, I have a product that could help them. I have a service that would help them. Or maybe you don't. And that's okay. Absolutely okay. I bet you know someone that does. So in that great big room or tiny room that you're in, you're thinking, you know, they should meet my friend who works at the Solid Waste Authority because there may be some opportunities there, right? Yeah. Hey, I want to introduce you to. They're not here tonight, but I'm happy to make a soft introduction. And what's a soft introduction? Quiet again. That's a hint to you guys. You're gonna get this. I'm not putting pressure on you, but soft introduction. What is it?
Passing contact information and making each other aware.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I say something gentle like, friends, I'm leaving the conversation now. I really think that there's an opportunity for you to build some synergies here. If they choose to move forward, great. If they choose not to, it's on them. It's their choice. I can't tell them what to do. Sometimes I try, but it's okay. I won't do that to you today. How about the chat people?
Knowing that they're helping others, being in service, they thrive, knowing that what they're doing is actually helping somebody.
I love that. Becca is on this call, isn't she?
She is, yes.
Hey, Becca. If you don't know Becca, she owns Original Frameworks in Blacksburg. Holy cow, so talented and really gets in there. I feel like if I go in the door, she already knows what my tastes are because we work together. So I just go in and say, hey, Becca, I got this thing. I want to frame it. Can you help? And she's on it. She's absolutely on it. That's what building that relationship is all about. I would encourage you, check out Becca. Fabulous work. In your hotel, there's empty space, right? Maybe we focus on some local artists. People need to know you. You guys are also filling some shoes. We all loved Logan, right? We would do anything in the world for Logan. So just getting your name out there and say, and I would say, hey, I'm the new person, even though you've been there for what, 2 years?
I've only been there a few months.
Okay, months. So, hey, I work at the hotel that Logan used to work at. You throw Logan's name out there, everybody knows Logan. They know her. So again, BNI uses a phrase, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. Right? BNI didn't come up with that. There was another strategist who did. And that name escapes me at the moment. But be that person. Be the person that people can know, like, and trust. I trust that the referral you're going to give me is a good person. Because I know you wouldn't do anything else. Anything else on there?
Saving people money was the other one.
Oh, is money important? Yeah, because you guys are growing my money, but yeah, today, because prices have we don't know. Will a tariff affect us? Will a tariff not affect it? Well, what's going on? So, is there an opportunity to save me money or time? Because if I know I can save you time, that allows you to focus on what you do best. Professional payoffs. Anytime you're going to a networking event, here are your professional payoffs. If you're not looking at this as investing, then guys, don't go. Just go home, put your sweats on, eat some popcorn, watch TV. You're investing in your business every time you go to a networking event. Here are the payoffs. I'm going to stand over here all the way. You can establish communication with people that you want to meet. When you walk in and you see someone you know, yeah, speak to them. You'll see a slide soon that tells you how I will work a room. If I need in 6 months 4 new clients, that's what I'm going in for. I'm going in to talk to businesses that may need my help. If there are 100 people in that room, introvert, I've already listened to Black Sabbath in the parking lot, I'm amped up, but I'm still going into that room and I'm going to divide it into quadrants. Because that's manageable. Where are the rest of my where are my people, the introverts? Raise your hands. You don't even want to raise your hand. So when I divide that room into quadrants, I'm going to go in, I'm going to reconnect. My goal is I'm going to reconnect with 2 people that I already know. Sometimes it's more, but I'm going to nail 2. I'm going to meet 1 to 2 new people in that quadrant. Now, the 2 that I already know, I may ask for their help. Hey, I'm looking for, I'd like to meet. Can you help me? Absolutely ask for help. Most people love helping others. The problem is with us because we don't want to ask. So ask. I will do that the next 3 quadrants, and I walk out of there sometimes exhausted, but sometimes going, yeah. And I'm going to go to my note cards that Casey created for me. I'll send an email, but I'm going to handwrite a note. Why would I even handwrite a note? Personal, absolutely. I don't care if they can't read my handwriting. I don't. They will look at it and say, hey, this was a great attempt at making a connection. How kind. You just don't see that often. So send a note. Invite them for coffee. Can you imagine me on coffee? Okay, I don't always drink the coffee, but I will take them for coffee because I want to know more about them. And maybe it's not a good fit for us, but I will have met another human being that's kind of cool. I want that. I need that in my life. So, that communication is important. It's about building that rapport. The second is you increase your resource base. Who do you want to meet? And maybe I'm not going to do business with them, but golly, if they met 8 people that evening, they may remember somebody that my business might be able to help. So again, it's about making those connections. Building rapport and building resources. If you look at it, you're going to gain insight and learn new information. I can't imagine what you hear from your customers. New information. How many of you live in Montgomery County or the New River Valley? Okay. Do you learn something about this community at least once a week that you didn't know? Yeah. Okay. I give you that. Yeah. I am amazed at where we live and the resources, natural resources, what we have. And it drives me crazy when I hear people say, oh, there's nothing to do here. I don't have enough time to do it all. So finding out what people enjoy and having that bank of information gets people excited about where they live. How do we build that community? A positive environment for the growth and operation of business. If you take a look at the next one, we're going to increase business opportunities for us, but also for other people. I'm right now, since we've been talking, thinking about how you guys there's a good relationship there. I also am thinking about where would I send you if I wanted you to connect with developers or, you know, I almost think some of your networking occurs at council meetings, town council, government meetings. I want to know what's on the docket, planning commission, what are people thinking about building? Because you'll know about it before, and then you can kind of get your foot in the door that way. I'm still thinking. You want to create a face-to-face visibility. It was fun watching people come in and trying to memorize everybody's name. Who needs their cabinets or their kitchen, really, right? Yeah. Where are they? Where are those people? Who do we know that's doing all of this fun stuff? And who do we know, like, and trust enough to make that referral? When you're looking at perceived as a person in control in a position of authority, you don't have to be the CEO or the president of a company. I think Chris Chittenden is just this amazing networker. She knows everybody. She visits with people. She understands their business, and she will make connections. I might not hear from Chris for a month, and then lo and behold, I get an email from her. Hey, I think you would enjoy having coffee with this person. I don't know why I'm going to enjoy having coffee, but I'm going to take her up on it. And then finally, it's about having fun, even if you're an introvert. It's about having fun. Hey, that was fun. That fed my energy. Now, there's some personal outcomes of networking. I want you to think about these. With the personal payoffs, if you're looking at comfort, where are my extroverts? All right, you're going to have fun. With this one, it's about comfort. I feel comfortable in a room full of people. My husband, he would go to a networking event at midnight. Hey, they're going to have a networking event at midnight. Oh, honey, you go. He will network, and it used to be people looked for his car to know if they were in the right event. That's insane, I know. But he loves being around people, loves it, and doesn't understand why I might not want to go. I'm sorry, honey, I was hit by a truck today. I'm dragging my left leg and my left arm, but you should go. You should go. Put a Band-Aid on it. Let's go. There's comfort in it for some people. So My extroverts, go for that. I saw that frown. Self-confidence. It does boost your self-confidence when you're talking about your business and how great it is and what you can do for other people. Have that testimonial in your head. Let me tell you what I was able to do for this individual or this company or this organization. Have that story ready, because they may ask you, why did you go into banking? What do you love about your job? I think that that's an important question to ask yourself so that you've got it and you're ready to go with it. When you're also looking at that, it's new contacts. I can tell you that many of the friends that I have today are a direct result of my job here and also when I worked at Virginia Tech. They're friends that, I'm going to have them on my deck. There might or might not be a glass of wine involved, but those are people that I love to be around. I get energy from them as an introvert. I get energy from them. Newly acquired knowledge, we talked about that. And then new experience. I went to an event. It was a banquet. Remember what I said, everything is a networking event. Everything. And this banquet, I met these incredible people there. I would never have met them had I not gone to that banquet. They wouldn't be attending a chamber function, so I wouldn't be able to meet them there. It's a new experience. Just do it. And then create that face-to-face visibility. I've got a face, I've got a name. Life is too short, people. We need to have fun. Have fun at these events. Let's talk for a moment about what I've covered so far. What makes sense and what do you disagree with?
I think it makes sense to make your circle bigger to not only the people that you know, so that you have connections to the people that your people know, not necessarily that you know.
Absolutely. We make the circle bigger.
I definitely need that.
Tell me why you need that.
Because I work in a company that's established in the community and I'm new to the company. So sometimes it's hard because they already have all the connections, but now I'm supposed to do marketing and it's like, but I don't know anyone that you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I love that Ed sent you today, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I try to go to as many as I can so I have face-to-face visibility with as many people as possible.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. How about the rest of you?
I agree with what she said, because that's my mother has been a business owner within the community for 40 plus years. And it's hard for me to break that stigma that I'm her son
Right.
instead of I am this business person. But it's hard to wrap a head. It's like once you have owned a business in the community, I'm sure you know this, with them, everyone knows them.
Right.
Everyone knows that. And
Yeah.
everyone knows
Everything.
that.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, oh, you're Ed's this.
Yeah.
Or you're Ed's that. And it's a stigma that's hard to overcome. But I think coming to different networking events and seeing different people, it helps you broaden your own circle off of that.
I would tell you I did that to you this morning, didn't I?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. But I want to be able to say, like, I brought this customer in.
Right.
Not that you guys knew Ed already, so you came there. No, I want you to say, yeah, you know what? We ran into she at this networking meeting. She recommended that we come talk to you. And, I want to be a part of the team that brings new people in also, not just the already established image that is already in play.
I agree with what you're saying. And I would add, I would leverage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's great. Come on.
Yeah.
He's so So great.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Yeah.
Leverage it. Leverage Biff. Leverage your mom, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you might know my mom.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
That's great.
Anything to open that door.
Yeah.
Get that conversation going. And then people begin to see you and
Yeah.
they will build their beliefs
Right.
on you. Megan?
You said something and I wanna lift that up
Sure.
in that I think we can all agree that it feels good to help people.
Yeah.
But when you flip yourself to the other side, most of us have a problem asking for help. And if you go into networking situations and remember that by asking for help, you're creating a situation for somebody to feel good about themselves, that makes it easier to put that ask out there. I love that you put that statement out there, and I want to just shine a light on that because that's such an important piece to breaking the ice.
Thank you. What else? Oh, Casey.
Two that you touched on that I was like, man, that's happened to me and it was really cool. So the self-confidence thing, I've been in business for like 7, 8 or something like that, but just continuing to put myself out there. And one time I went somewhere and they're like, they heard the name and they're like, oh, I've heard of you. I've heard really good things. And it just like, I mean, I was good. The rest of that networking event, I was like, man, I'm doing awesome. Like I just like thought everybody was my best friend and knew who I was. And anyway, so it just like the continually putting yourself out there and then that everything's a networking. I go out to dinner with my husband and I talk to people and he's like, can we just like eat our dinner? And I'm like, no. But I don't know if any of you know Tia Brown. She's moved out of the area. She was with Budget Blinds before, but she was an awesome networker and she kind of, trained me a little bit and helped me with that. And just like we talked to people, we went out to lunch to like talk about other stuff, whatever. We'd like talk to our waitress and be like, so what do you want to do with your life? And like try to find them a new job, which is terrible, but it was like, we just always seem to just end up talking to people. So I love that.
I'll say we say this a lot at the chamber, but the person front of like going in and making sure people know who you are has gone so far. I mean, I really can say I only have this job because of the networking I did at chamber events before I worked here. I have met the godparents of my daughter through chamber networking events. But it's always having that. And I used to make fun of my dad all the time for the amount of people he would talk to in the community. Because we would be like, how do you know this? And now my wife and Emily Pretty call Leo and I the mayor and vice mayor of nothing. Because everywhere we are, it's, hey, how are you? Hey, is this? And what's going on? And they're like, who is that? And we're like, don't worry about it. Or it's, hey, you, because we can't remember that name. But it is going and making that personal connection. Those are the pieces that people take away. And that really leads back to the business front of, oh, Casey did this. And we talked about, she was really interested in signs. And she told me about why toner was different than ink. And like that, those kind of things are what stick in people's head more than anything else.
And that's a really smooth line to use on a date. Let me tell you the difference between toner and ink. I mean, I would be reeled in right there, except I've got the perfect husband who's already out there networking right now. You never know when that information is going to be valuable. So guys, have fun and leverage what you can. So who else? What other nerve did I strike that you agree with or you don't agree with?
I'm just goal setting because I don't feel like I ever go into those situations with a goal.
Okay.
Nothing defined at all. It's just
Right.
like, I hope I get to meet someone new. It's like, hey, maybe you should be a little bit more intentional.
There you go.
Yeah.
That intentionality piece makes it more valuable to you.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of set yourself up if you're goal centered. And I am. I won my house playing Scrabble. So if my husband ever leaves, I will own the house. I am a little competitive. I am very goal directed. So for me, having those goals going in, I also know that I can relax. And if I am peopled out, hit my goals, peace out,
Yeah.
I'm gone. There's no pressure to stay until the end. If I'm having fun, yeah, I'll stay till the end. But I'm be intentional. It's a great word. Be intentional. All right. On
Like
this
the
side of the room, you're talking a lot.
I like
Please.
the quadrants, like when you
Yeah.
walk into a big room, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
There's, 150 people in a room. You go, who do you talk to? But if you can focus on that, okay, I'm gonna go over to this corner of the room and, talk to a couple people.
Yeah.
And then, okay, now I've done that, now let's go over to the next corner. It kind of breaks it down into something smaller.
And manageable, right? You can handle 25 or 30. Yeah. It's not like 100 or 150. I love manageable. I'm going to use my time wisely.
So I have a friend that is super great at networking, and she's kind of like a comfort buddy for me, Wendy Epperly with Business Solutions out of Salem. If I can find Wendy, she's going to introduce me to somebody, and then she leaves me really quickly. Like she's like, "Hey, this is Fallon," and the next thing you know, I'm like, "Where did Wendy go?"
Yeah.
Oh, well, now I'm going to talk to Fallon because I don't know anybody else here. But like, she's great about like pulling you over and like dropping you in the water, like swim. You have to swim. But then you also have some like comfort in that because Wendy's not just gonna throw me in and be like, this is the CEO of a Fortune 500 company that you have nothing in common with.
Right.
Like she's just moving. And then I'm like, well, I know this person and I know Robert, so like why can't I do the same thing to Robert? Like,
Absolutely.
it makes a lot more sense now with your, like you said, the quadrants and the reconnect with somebody, but then go and meet 2 more people.
And let's always leverage that. My best friends are staying with me for 3 weeks. They're from Florida. In Florida, I talk about all my friends up here. And I will say things like, oh, and he is blah, 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 blah. He saved the world from disaster. An asteroid was going to hit the earth, whatever. And they're going, we don't care. We don't know this person, right? Last night, I held a party for my friends here to meet my friends in Florida, and my friends in Florida to meet my inner circle. The intent was to let them leverage what they do best. It was a wonderful event. I just kind of stood back and went, haha, I got it. And it was super to hear them chat and talk about things that they all have in common. And they were dogs, wine, dogs and wine, cars, and wine. Not at the same time. We don't encourage that. But it's about making those connections. And I love what your friend does for you. Hey, I want to introduce you to this guy, right? Let me tell you what he does. And he is amazing. So now the 2 of you are going to find something, right? Hey, how long have you been in business? I just started. What tips? Why do you love what you do? You get people talking about why they're doing what they do. You may not be able to get out of that quadrant. You may be in that quadrant for a while, but that's good. At least you met someone else and you know something about that person. And again, it's going back to, I may not need a hauler, but I'll bet I know someone who does.
There was something in the chat that got said here about making sure they're available at networking events so that it's not just going to the event, being scared of rejection, but making sure they're open and available when someone walks up to them or approaches them.
Absolutely.
That they can be a connection, or if it's not working out, they can still connect them with someone else.
I'm also going to encourage you not to travel in packs. Like feral cats. Just don't. Because If I am easily intimidated and you're traveling in a pack, I am less likely to go up to you. Now, I realize that pack of people that you have may be your comfort zone, but odds are we're not going to connect because you're traveling in that pack. So again, love what your friend Wendy does for you. I love that. Make the connection, allow somebody to see what they have in common, and exit quietly. You don't even know she left. Kudos to her. So, what else? Anybody, you're allowed to disagree with me.
I'm glad to see friends and fun on there because when we were talking about goals, I was thinking, I want to make friends, I want to have fun, and then I felt kind of unprofessional when everyone else was having like very like intentional goals. But I think because I used to, when I first started my role, I'd had like I want to talk to so many people or these certain people, and I felt like I felt like I was mentally putting them into like a checklist and not making those meaningful connections. So I started just going into them with like, just have fun and like genuinely connect with people. And I think that's worked better for me, personally, but glad to see friends and fun up there. Makes me feel better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to have fun and I certainly want to make new friends. I don't think you can ever have too many friends. And and in the long run, it's my friends who probably are going to make those referrals. Are they in my inner circle? Maybe not. But there are several circles of friendship. So knowing that and understanding that and embracing that, I think it's important. Okay, let's see what else we got. The how-tos. I have 30 minutes to kind of tell you how to network. I would say check the newsletter. Every time the chamber sends that out. What's going on? What can I attend? And then, once you figure out you can attend it, is this the right fit for me? Is this the right fit for me? Your time is valuable. We get it. And especially if you're a sole entrepreneur, if you're it. So, understanding I need to build a pipeline. What is that pipeline? How manageable is that? When do I need to hire someone? For me, I didn't want to hire anyone. It wasn't about scalability for me. I knew what I wanted to do. Originally, I was going to be working in a firm that had 3 other people. This was after the pandemic. One of them retired to Florida to be close to his grandkids. One went to Deloitte and the other went to Virginia Tech. Wait a minute. I left my job so I could work with you guys. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, fine, then I'll just buy your business. And I love these people, and I still visit with these people. They're not the ones from Florida that are visiting right now, just in case you thought that. So, accept the invitation and go. Accept the invitation and go. Where are my introverts again? Okay. Accept the invitation. So first step, go is the second step. Why am I emphasizing going?
Go.
You're not going to get anything if you don't go. And?
It's easy to make an excuse.
Absolutely. We introverts know how easy it is. Oh, man, I have this paper cut. It's really been bothering me today. Go. That is a big step. It's a huge step. Adopt a positive attitude. Again, goal setting. Stop yourself from saying, why am I doing this? I would be so much happier watching Netflix and drinking hot chocolate. No, go. Adopt a positive attitude. I'm going to meet 2 new people tonight. Don't set the goal too high. Make it achievable. That's something you want to do. Make it fun. Make it fun. We're also going to think about appropriate dress. Appropriate dress for you may be different from me. That's okay. Probably wouldn't wear a mermaid costume to the annual dinner. I don't know. Maybe you're comfortable in that. You will certainly get a lot of attention. Wear the appropriate dress. Scott, how many of you know Scott Sink? Okay. I know and love Scott Sink. Scott Sink came to a business after hours one night. He'd been in the field all day. And the entire seat of his trousers, jeans, were split. You could see his underwear. And I said, Scott, I'm right behind you. You ripped the seat of your ripped the seat of your pants, your underwear showing. He went, I know, I'm a farmer, I don't care. He's like, go for it, buddy. Be comfortable with what you're wearing. If you're going to dress for somebody else, you're going to be uncomfortable, don't wear it. Don't wear it. Figure out what's comfortable for you. The manner in which we present ourselves can't destroy our credibility. Did it destroy Scott's? No. Flat out, Scott's a farmer. He's going to do Scott, and he's going to do a great job. Am I encouraging you to split the seat of your jeans and go to a chamber function? No, I am not. I'm asking you to be comfortable in who you are. Dressing up like a mermaid, that's a possibility, but it's up to you. Or merman. Is that appropriate? Merman? I'm going to have to Google that when I leave. Focus on the benefits of the event. What are the benefits? Set your goals. Be intentional. He's gone. But be intentional in why you're going. Because if you're going and you're thinking, oh, God, I can't believe I have to go to this thing, it's going to project people know. Adopt a positive attitude. What's the intention? Plan your self-introduction. What do you do? Why do you do it? The company that I owned was called Fully Engaged. I worked with corporate culture, organizational culture, and how do we engage our team members to focus on that mission. How do we do that? And the first thing out of your mouth should be something either humorous or try being, what's the word I'm looking for? Alliteration, where everything kind of rhymes. For me, it was about engagement. And then people go, you, what? What? Yeah. When we think about engagement today in the workforce, about 38% of our employees are engaged in achieving the mission. So it's up to us as leaders to figure out, is there something wrong with the mission? Are we saying the mission? Do people understand the mission? Are we hiring the right people? So I usually started there. And then that was it. Now, Casey, I love this. I love this. Dana, do you know how I knew your name?
Name tag.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love that. Casey sells this, by the way. High and to the right.
Shameless plug.
Yes. It wasn't even shameless.
Shameful.
High and to the right. You want it high and to the right. I want to be able to see it some people will do silly things like wear a lanyard and they got their name down here and I'm real uncomfortable looking down there. So I'm just not going to look there. High and to the right with your name tag.
Why the right? Yes or no?
Because if I'm typically, most people are right-handed. And if I go in to shake your hand, where am I gonna land visually? Right there. So
if you're a lefty, should you put it on your left or no? Because when I extend my left hand, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
You just have to change the name. You gotta start shaking right.
Exactly. You will have to adapt and overcome.
It's always an awkward opening.
Hello. It's really important to have that name tag. As goofy as you think it is, Casey can help you create something that's lovely or manly, whichever you prefer. Check your business cards. Do you have them? If you don't, I mean, some people aren't carrying them now. That's fine. Do you have digital business cards? My guess is you also make cards.
You can also get a metal one that has a QR code.
Yeah.
That gets you to everything.
Yep. We also have NFC cards, right? Whatever you choose, make sure you have it. That's all I'm asking. Whatever you do, have it. Because if you don't, you're going to lose an opportunity to make a connection. And we just don't say, hey, here's my business card. We're going to ask, hey, can I give you my contact information? Great, thank you. Could I have yours? Ask for permission, because otherwise I may look at this business card and think, I have to take this and now I have to throw it away and it's going to be in the landfill, and all of those things may be going through my head. Ask.
How do you navigate the no?
Just say, hey, no, I respect that. I respect that. There could be any number of reasons somebody may not want your business card. Right? Yeah, fair enough.
You've been told no?
Pardon me?
Have you been told no when you ask? I feel like that's kind of like a
pretty
on the spot kind of a question.
Yeah.
Like, here, would you like my business card? No.
Kind of hard to navigate. Yeah.
Right.
That has not happened to me, but I have had friends who their business card the person said no. And we talked about it. I said, do you know why? And they said no, but it caught me off guard. And I want to prepare you for that. There may be people who are not taking business cards. Environmental, for whatever reason. If they don't like you, trust me, they're going to say, hey, I got to go get another drink at the bar and leave you hanging. But 9 times out of 10, it's some personal thing, like having 27 of them in the car when they leave an event and sorting through and not remembering what your face looked like, or a whole multitude of things. That's why the QR code is kind of cool, especially if your face is on there. They remember, oh yeah, that's who that was. Yeah, I want to talk to them. Right? Mm-hmm. If they say no, just say, hey, I understand. Yeah. Usually I'll do the business card thing like at the end when I'm moving on. So it's no harm, no foul. Just be prepared. QR code, social media profile. As introverts, I'll give you a pass. You don't have to go to every networking event. You can skip one if you bolster your social media profile, if you're getting information out that way. Okay? If there are 19 networking events this month, you may skip one, just one. Get your social media profile. Get it out there for your business. Get information out. about who you are and what you do. Your website needs to be updated. Do it. That costs money. Guys, you bring in the right client next month, and it's going to cover that expense. And there are lots of people who can help you with that right here in this chamber. Never do this. Casey does these beautiful brochures, and there's a great place for them. We've had people come to events rather than bring a business card, bring a brochure. You want me to tell you where most of those brochures ended? In the trash on the way out of the event. It's a lot of information and people are often overwhelmed. Think about having that brochure in the right place. It's a very specialized piece of marketing. Never give your business card without permission. Distribute contact information selectively. I had a neighbor ask me for a contact the other day. Hey, who does this for you? This person. Could you give me their phone number? I gave them the business phone number. Then I called the person immediately and said, hey, this person's going to be calling you. They live close to me. I think that this is a good customer for you. But I didn't give the neighbor the personal phone number of the business owner. She called me back and said, hey, could I have his personal number? I'm a little hesitant to give that out without his permission. I hope you can respect that. So be selective in what you're giving out and how you do it. I can just imagine Michael being awakened in the middle of the night. Or, you know, could you come over? I saw 3 spiders. Would you? Yeah, no. This is controversial, not crazy controversial, but controversial in the sense of when to give out the business card. I tend to do it at the end. I've built some relationship. I have some rapport. I do it then. In the event that you do it first thing, please know that you really haven't established anything. That may be when you may get the no. Prepare for small talk. Where are my introverts? Yeah. Small talk. Prepare for small talk. Figure out who's playing sports ball that day. Know what the scores are. I'm joking. I do know a little bit about sports. But I try to avoid politics. I am such a neutral person. You do what you want, but I would recommend avoiding it. If you're looking at news these days, I subscribe to 1440. I'm not on commission from them. I'm sharing this because they tend to be neutral. Here's what's happening in the world. And they give me 3 big topics. Now, are there others? Yeah, they'll have some other links that I can go to, but they tend to be unbiased either way. I like that. So at least I can speak to what's going on in the world neutrally. The tsunami or the eruption of the volcano in Hawaii. Or I was somewhere recently and I was presenting and I said something about the Hokies and Virginia Tech. And the person looked at me and their eyes got about this big and they said, well, West Virginia fan. And I said, Good for you. You guys have had some good teams. It's unfortunate that we don't play you guys anymore. Pretty neutral. Got out of the conversation, went to the bar. The bar's always a safe place to go. If you're doing these good things, the most important thing here, I think, is just being a good listener. Ask questions. I'm getting ready to get involved with a blog now that asks, why here? Why here? Why are you in business here? Why are you in this business? And I've had some fun with that recently. And I'm kind of excited about another avenue because I don't think I'm ever going to retire. I can't sit still. Shake hands with people. Shake hands with people. Carry hand sanitizer if you think that they are germy. I'm serious. Shake hands with people. Avoid the jellyfish handshake. You know what the jellyfish handshake is? Yes. Going in like that. Avoid the knuckle buster. I love it when people want to show me how much they've been working out. Good for you. But I am old and my bones will crack. So just avoid it. And then finally, the finger squeeze. Oh, this one drives me crazy. Give me that. That one. I'm just going to squeeze your fingers.
I like the curtsy.
Yes. Yes.
Sure. Get him a back pocket.
Practice your handshake. Fist bumps. I don't care. You know, whatever you're comfortable with, but at least shake hands. That is still a thing in the culture in the U.S. Handshaking. So do it. But have someone evaluate your handshake. Let's make sure you're not doing this. Start to end. Take a deep breath, do some jumping jacks. Whatever's gonna get you there, right? Then stand tall, walk in. You can use the buddy system with two people. I don't want a gang. I don't want a feral cat ring. Because people will not approach you. They won't. If you are in a pod of people, they're not going to approach you. It's intimidating enough for some people. And then finally, brush up on your introduction. What's the mission of your company? What do you do? What's the most fun customer you've had recently? Who's the coolest new volunteer you got to work in your organization? Share that story with them. Start with hi or hello. These are good openers, right? You really can't mess with those. Read name tags. Again, hi and to the right. And if you forget their name, that's okay. You're human. How many times have you avoided, hey, I want you to meet this guy? No, just say, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I give this example. I worked for, I interviewed. Her name was Donna Partridge. Now I do this little thing in my head that I do associations. I called her Donna Parrott. The entire interview, I called her Donna Parrott. And after the interview was over, she said, great interview. I just want to let you know my name is Donna Partridge. So immediately I'm going, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And she said, no problem. So I figure I don't have the job, right? I got the job and she called me in my first day and she said, tell me why you would think my name was Donna Parrott. And I said, I do a word association. So it was a bird, started with P. I thought I was close. Whatever system you have, make sure it's foolproof. And again, we're all human. So just, the world is not going to stop spinning because you got somebody's name wrong. It is not. Do it with humor. I'm the same way with my servers. I want to know, hey, what's your name? How long have you worked here? I want to know about them. I genuinely care. I want to know your name. I would prefer to get it right. I really would. So practice it. Conversation starters, discuss the venue. Isn't this a great room? How about that mission painted on the wall back there? Great venue. Mention the view if there is one. I'd like to direct your attention now to Alan's shirt. Okay? It is lovely. We coordinated, we're blue today, and we also made sure that this was about connections. Yes. When you're looking at this, I want you to think, what kind of conversation can we have? Talk about the food. Don't whine because you don't like the food. Talk about the food. Find something positive to say. And then use it as a conversation intro to get things started. And then, how long have you been a member? How many of you have been a member for over 5 years? Interesting. Yes, you have. What is the best benefit that you receive? I want to know those things because I don't want to miss anything. Ask those questions. It's a great way to start a conversation at a chamber function. And then, how do you know Alan? How do you know Casey? Again, just get the conversation started. Getting to know you, people do business with, people they know, like, and trust. I'm going to ask you to please now do this one. Please don't overshare. I don't want to know if you don't like your husband or wife or whatever. I don't want to know. Don't be flirty. There are other places you can be flirty, although the chamber has at least 3 marriages as a result of people meeting in functions. Avoid intense conversations. And then look for fun groups. The objective isn't necessarily to sell, it's for people to get to know you, like you, and trust you. And welcome others into your group. Work the room. I talked to you about my strategy of quadrants, all that easier for me. At the annual meeting, I used to go around to each table, but in my head, I had already put those tables in quadrants to work that. Otherwise, it's just overwhelming sometimes. Energy, I shared with you, I'm borderline. I'm right there in the middle. So I kind of have to work my energy. I have to get it going and be able to keep it going. And I will close with just do it. Make those connections, build your business, but also build a better community. You help us all when you're doing that. What questions do you have that I can answer?
Got one from the chat of how do you break away from that security blanket of those that you know, like work with those that you don't?
I would ask you a simple question. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Nothing, right? And you're right. Sometimes it's a security blanket, but you have nothing to lose. That person doesn't want to talk to you, but there's probably somebody else in that quadrant who wants to talk to you, who will think what you're doing is fascinating. So it was great meeting you. Thanks, and I'm off. Just do it. Other questions?
I think that just because like I've sort of been to a few of the bigger events and stuff. And like I said, my goal is like I'm gonna go and meet and talk to people, and then the first time I get shut down, I shut down and I was like, well, I'm just gonna sit here and listen instead of continuing to go and find those connections, even though I got you because I'm very much hate rejection. And so just continuing to get out of that comfort zone.
Absolutely, just keep doing it. And then if you want, tag somebody that you know and say, hey, could you open some conversations with me? And then let them go. You're building your identity, your brand, who you are, let them go. Ask for help.
Yes.
Ask for help. Anything else? Yes?
You mentioned everything's an event, but what's, so I've not only just started a business, but also just moved here. What's the best way to find like events? Is there a good resource for that?
Yeah. So the Chamber sends out a newsletter, and in the newsletter, all of the events are listed. I would tell you that there's a member that is called the Next 3 Days. Next 3 Days has everything going on in the community. It's rare that they don't. There's also a publication called the help me. No, magazine.
I'm thinking of it too. I can see their Facebook post, but I can't
I'm
see
gonna
their name
say
in my head.
New River Valley Magazine, maybe, and you can see that at Kroger. They also list events and things that
Especially
are
for
going
like the
on.
weekend, or they do it for like a week at a time, so it's really easy to look at because it's not as overwhelming, because it's not like, oh, I gotta remember next month I want to do this. It's like, okay, in 2 days I could do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, next 3 days is its own website, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does that help?
It does.
I'd be happy to chat with you. Okay. Any other questions? Because I'm getting kicked out. See, Alan standing. I know the cues.
I am gonna say, if you have questions that come up, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We can always share them across to Sharon. If that's something we can help with, we will. I'm gonna go ahead and plug some other ways that you can go ahead and be networking and doing this through the chamber. If you're not already a member of a CASE group, CASE is a really great way of practicing that. It meets, we've got 5 groups that meet weekly. It's a really good resource of building those connections, but also practicing that, 60-second pitch. Business after hours this month, it is June 26th at the Pete Dye River Course, 5 to 6:30. Come out. It is our by far the biggest networking event that we do. It is where I would say when you have that moment of, I can talk to everyone. That's your event. That's not one that's necessarily targeted, but it's a great way of meeting a lot of people. Speed networking is going to happen August 28th this year at the Hilton Garden Inn. That's another really great way of practicing that 60-second pitch, learning how to come in, talk quickly, effectively. And then we do have an open networking piece of that. And then finally, we have the Chamber Classic Golf Tournament where we have teams available. That's a really good way to network because you're on a golf course, you're just having fun, having a beer, and the only pressure you really have is how bad Steve hit the ball behind you, right?
When is the golf tournament?
It is going to be September 15th. Yeah. One other pitch I'm going to say for the chamber is if you look on that back counter, you can always see generally our upcoming events. But if you'll scan that QR code that says Give Local NRV, right now the Give Local campaign is going on for a lot of nonprofits in our region. Our Chamber Foundation is participating for the first time this year. With our membership, if every member gives $10, we will hit our goal of $7,500 that celebrates 75 years of Chamber support in the Montgomery County area. That also will fund an entire year's worth of the Foundation's programming and initiatives. So please help us spread the word and get in on that. Our next small business workshop is going to be on the 24th, but we also have one that's on July 16th, which is going to be a business law update. So please join us for one of those. And I'll leave you all with my dad joke about networking. Why did the chamber member take a ladder to business after hours? Because their elevator pitch wasn't ready. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it.
Let's give Sharon a applause. Here, I'm going to introduce Logo with our theme from our Virginia Tourism Grant, Shop and State Montgomery. This is made by Logo Hub, which is also a member of the chamber. So thank you again for your very much. Appreciate all y'all coming today.